here, and today I'm working on a challenge for the ScrapRoom blogs. So you can find them on their blog. They also have a Facebook page for a community, and they have, I believe, 4 different challenges up for April. So for this challenge, you're given a specific formula. You have one piece of cardstock for your background. You can have a 7 by 7 inch piece of patterned paper, 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. This one is 2 by 5, a 1 by 12, and then a 4-inch circle. So I've cut all my paper, I've played around with it, I've moved it all over the page, I've flipped the papers over, used different sides, but I think this is what I have decided upon, is to just kind of create a strip through here and then bring the embellishments diagonally this way. And the only thing that's going to save me from that urge that I have to get more pattern paper onto the page is bulking up my embellishments, and then I also think I'm going to bring some inking in and put around here to have a little bit of something behind this paper kind of as another layer. So this is really a challenge for me, but it's quite a bit of fun. I hope you'll stick around and watch me as I put this together. The first thing I've decided to do is to create some more interest in the background, since I'm limited on paper. And if you follow me, you know I love all my paper, so I usually have a lot more than this on my page, or at least, you know, maybe different sizes to where it seems like there's more. So I've taken the Heidi Swapp color mist, and this is in the coral, and it's a little bit to the peachy pink, so it pulls up the lightest shade in the flowers. And I'm just doing the packaging technique, kind of smushed it onto the background, and then I'm going to splatter some around. And I know most of this is going to get covered up, and I started there right where I knew it was going to get covered up to make sure that the color was going to work okay with me. I don't have a color mist in the pink, so I decided this was the closest thing I had. Normally if I want pink, then I use my watercolors and kind of make up something that way. But I thought this lighter pink would be okay. I just wanted a little bit of color behind there. And when I'm done, there's really not that much that shows. And truthfully, I thought about going and getting my water brush and putting just a little bit more in, especially on that left-hand side there in that little backwards L shape. I would like some more, but I decided to just let it be. It just wasn't going to fuss too much. So I'm going to put everything back pretty much the way that I had it in the very beginning. I had kind of played around with the shapes of the papers and how that I liked them best. And if you want some more examples of how you can create layouts with these particular shapes of paper, be sure to check out the ScrapRoom blog, because there was some awesome examples. And after I did mine, I kind of looked at them and I thought, oh man, why didn't I think of that? Because I thought it was so cute how they had used the different sizes of papers. And originally when I was kind of playing with them, these 2 blue pieces, I had one of them flipped over to the other side so that I had a mix up. And I have to tell you, that 4-inch circle, I think I cut it out of 3 different pieces of pattern paper. So you'll see on the next layout that I do, that's also a ScrapRoom challenge, that there's a big circle cut out of one of the background pieces, but you know, I needed the paper, so, and it was going to be covered up, so I used it anyways. But yeah, just trying to decide how I wanted to lay them. But I ended up just using the 1 by 12 as a grounding piece for my other ones, put the 7 by 7 kind of off center to the right for my photos. And then, like I said, the blues I left up on that side and just tucked in behind that so that it created a long horizontal piece to ground my photos and all of my embellishments and all of that. For my 4-inch circle, I cut it out of this black floral print, but I decided to go around the outside edges of around the leaves on part of it, so it's not like a true circle, but hopefully that little bit of cheating is okay. But I thought it would just add just a little bit more interest to leave those leaves on. And I'm noticing my pencil marks are showing there. I need to go back and erase those. I forgot to do that. And I did have my photos matted, but I wasn't for sure if we could use that extra paper on the photo mats or not, so I had taken them off. But if you are doing the challenge, I had asked, and yes, you may mat your photos. So I'm not sure if I would have went ahead and matted these or taken them off. I think it's okay without it. But since I wasn't quite sure, I took that one ephemera piece that says work hard, play hard, and I cut it apart and just tucked up on each side of the photos, kind of offset from each other, just for a little bit more interest, and just to tell a little bit more of this story. These photos are quite old. They're from 1993. They're of my son, and it was Easter morning, and we had went and picked out some plants and some trees, and my son wanted to plant a tree, and so he had went and picked one out that was just his size. And so we had worked really hard that day and got it all planted. And then in the next picture, you can see he's just jumping up in the air. He's my happy, happy child. And he was just tickled pink. And he just, when he was that age, we used to call him Tigger because he would just bounce all the time. He was just so happy. So that second picture, he's just bouncing up and down. I was like, you have to stand still. I need a picture. So glad to get these documented, and I love this Carpe Diem collection, so it was perfect for it. So up at the top, I just used some of the chipboard frames, and I put the gray one up the top, pink one down at the bottom, and then I just kind of filled them in. So I used one of the camera ephemera pieces, and then I wanted a little bit for journaling. I'm just going to tell a small little snippet of what I've just told you about the photos. So that's going to go on that little captured ephemera piece, and then that banner says, "Make today ridiculously amazing." So I thought that was perfect right on top of his photo where he's just jumping up and down so happy, because that was just him. He just made every day ridiculously amazing. So on the little pink frame, I added that cute little puppy dog. I think he's just so adorable, and he's got his little flower hat on, and then tucked one of the hearts up behind it just to fill in some of that space. And then I decided to use the two pieces that say Life Today out of the ephemera pack, just for my title. I had some black thickers and different things hunted out in case I wanted to use those for the titles. But I thought that worked out pretty well, so I'm just going to pop dot it up. I had some of this teal twine, and it's really, really thick. I've used it on a couple of layouts here recently. So I just strung it across the top of that 1x12 piece and stapled it on the ends just to add a little bit more texture and dimension. And then, of course, this other little piece came from the ephemera pack, and it says, "Yep, this is the good stuff." And I had these little arrows from the ephemera pack, and I really wanted to use those. So I used the one with the red heart, kind of pinkish red heart, on the photo, and just kind of put it at an angle the same way that the life is, and then added the blue one down to the bottom. And I'm just going to trim this away. And then the last thing I'm going to do, I wanted just a little bit more. And of course, if you follow me, you know I love my enamel dots. And so I knew I was going to kind of put some enamel dots on there. And I have some of the new ones from Blvd. That's what the Illustrated Faith collection, that are these wonky little hearts in different colors. And so that's what I'm going to end up grabbing. But first, here I am. I'm adding just that little bit of journaling, just talking about when it was, and that he had picked out his tree that was just his size and was so happy to get it planted. And then you also saw me on the twine. I just kind of unraveled the ends and frayed it out again just for that little bit of texture. And I'm going to take my journaling pen too and just kind of outline some of the papers. That is something else that I like to do. And I'm going to outline all the way around that white cardstock. Again, just a frame and border. Now, if I wasn't under the constrictions of the challenge of just keeping this specific quantities and sizes of papers, I would have taken some small paper strips and put along the top and the bottom, or I might have even done a banner. Well, no, because it's more diagonal, so I wouldn't have done a banner, but I probably would have just done some small skinny strips along the top and bottom just to break it up, or at least the bottom. Might have left the top alone. So here are those little enamel hearts that are really wonky. They are so cute. So this is the mixed color pack, and then you can buy them in each of the individual colors. So I just got in the teal the other day. Can't wait to use it. And the pink sheet is the next one on my list. So I know I'm going to have a blast with those. So I just kind of picked up the colors that was lacking in the embellishment clusters, put those around. And then that little bow is also from Bella Boulevard and the Illustrated Faith collection. So it was also one of the new ones that has several different colors, and I just picked the teal that matched in with the Simple Stories Carpe Diem collection to finish it off. So I hope you enjoyed my layout today. If you're not a subscriber, I would love to have you subscribe here to my YouTube channel. And if you enjoyed this, a thumbs up is always appreciated. And be sure to check out the ScrapRoom blog for the challenges if you'd like to play along. And they have kits, monthly kits that they sell, so you can check those out as well. Oh, and I forgot. Here I'm just putting on some of the gold Heidi Swap color shine. I decided I wanted just a little bit more, and so I kind of splattered it with the gold and a little bit more pink where I had kind of covered up. So I wanted just a little bit more. So that's it. Here are some still shots of the layout so you can see some close-ups and how it all turned out. So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you real soon with another layout. Bye!